Hello everybody, this is Mr. Rob and welcome back to episode number 3 of the Washington Commanders franchise here on Madden NFL 24, where the Commanders are looking to bounce back on the road after losing a week 1 to the Arizona Cardinals as they travel to Denver to face the 0-1 Denver Broncos. Hope you guys are excited for this one. Make sure you drop a like and subscribe down below, especially if you want to continue franchise content. We're going to get right into this one with week 2, not waste any time, as it'll be the Denver Broncos who start with the football. And out comes Russell Wilson, who might have been the most disappointing player in the National Football League last year, but he's coming in with a new coach in Sean Payton, and he looked very good in week 1 despite the 21-17 loss to the Las Vegas Raiders, as he looks to continue some sort of momentum here against the Commanders, who got blown up by the Cardinals in week 1, and that's exactly what Jonathan Allen just did on the first play of the game. Tackle for a loss, and then the next play, a sack by Montez Sweat. This defense very frustrated after last week's loss, even though they gave up 44 points. I don't think it was entirely on the D, but unfortunately they can't get off the field on third down. There's a 3rd and 16 conversion to Jerry Jeudy, who's coming off a career high 972 yards and 6 touchdowns. With a new set of downs, the first play is a little bit of a flat route to Greg Dulcich, the tight end, who had 4 receptions, 457 yards, and a touchdown in that loss in week 1. 2nd and 6 now. Wilson's going to go left side, and there's a nice batted ball. Beautiful extension, but Jonathan Allen's actually hurt on the play. Overall, he would be okay. He just missed about a quarter of a time, so that's a big relief if you're a Commanders fan. 3rd and 6, another conversion to Jerry Jeudy, as Russell Wilson establishing that connection early on in this ball game. Javonte Williams gets the next carry on the ground, and he's going to rumble his way forward for a big gain of 7. He had 63 yards in the loss week 1. Trying to get him going here in this one is on 2nd down. Russell Wilson's actually going to keep this one and pick up a first down with his own legs. Next play is Javonte Williams again. There's plenty of pressure on the backside. Jonathan Allen's in there again. Cameron Curl shot on the blitz. And that makes it now 2nd and 11 for the Broncos. Or Wilson will show it out left side for Tim Patrick, who picks up about 6 before being forced out of bounds. And again, the Broncos face 3rd and 4. Quick pass right side, and it cannot be hauled in by Patrick, who drops the low pass. And the Broncos, on their first drive that goes over 5 minutes, end up kicking a field goal for 3, but they get the first points of the day. I was going to bring up Jacoby Brissett in this Commanders offense. Brissett obviously had a very bad game last week. There are plenty of people calling for his benching, but Ron Rivera is sticking with them. And now it's time to see if Brissett can perform underneath all this scrutiny. He's going to hand it off to Antonio Gibson on the first play of this one. He technically gets the start this week at halfback, despite Robinson getting plenty of the carries last week. He will still get touches in this game. 2nd and 4, Brissett escapes the pocket, gets away from the defense, and he's actually on his own with the legs. A big 29-yard pickup on the ground by Brissett, getting it done himself outside the pocket. And just like that, the Commanders, with a big play here today, they're going to hand it off to Gibson up next, again, who picks up about 4 in his 2nd carry of the game. 2nd and 6 now. Again, Gibson goes left side as the Commanders trying to establish this ground game early on. Just try to relieve some of that pressure so Brissett doesn't have to throw the ball 40-plus times in a game. 3rd and 3, though, he has to throw, and he is hit as he throws, so his first pass is incomplete thanks to the DJ Jones pressure. But the Commanders tied up at 3 apiece. 2nd drive of the day for the Broncos. It starts with Javonte Williams again, who picks up 1. Remember, the Commanders don't have Chase Young in this ball game. He's going to be missing the next 4 weeks with broken ribs. A big loss up front, but not something the Commanders are unfortunately used to. 3rd and 7 quickly now for the Broncos as Wilson will drop back to throw. He's going to fire a deep shot right side, but this one goes out of bounds. And that's going to be a 3-and-out for the Broncos. And that's actually going to take us to the end of the first quarter. Very quiet action on offense, but the Commanders were driving to end the first quarter, and they're actually on the doorstep. 3rd and goal from the 1-yard line. Brissett keeps it on the pullback, and he's going to take it in the end zone himself for a touchdown. The first offensive touchdown of the season for the Washington Commanders comes off of a Jacoby Brissett run. Commanders now take a 10-3 lead as the Broncos will look to answer back with their first possession of the second quarter. Starts with a quick stick route concept to Jerry Jeudy, who races forward for a first down. Next play, back to Williams on the ground. Has a crease left side and gets a nice block downfield by Jeudy. And Williams still going, falls out of bounds at the 47 of Washington. A big run for him puts them in plus territory. As the next play, they'll give it right to him again, but Jonathan Allen this time says, "You're not going to do that twice." Maybe gets a yard on that one. 2nd and 9, Wilson will turn it back to the air. He gets flushed out left side, tries to throw right, and that's going to be well incomplete. And it's 3rd down. Setting up a screen pass for Williams, who has it. He gets a couple of blocks. He's going to get close to the 1st down, tries to cut back, but gets stuffed 2 yards shy. But the Broncos offense is staying on the field. Peyton's going to play it aggressive. Are you surprised? 4th and 2, they bring in Perrine, and Perrine gets stuffed. Jonathan Allen again in the backfield. It's about the 4th time he's blown up a run play already this game. The Broncos get a turnover on downs, but unfortunately for Washington, they couldn't do anything with their possession. They just go a weekly 3 and out, so the ball goes right back to the Denver Broncos. So there's another good Javonte Williams run. 1st and 10, Wilson, right side on the short concept. Tim Patrick races forward. That's a nice pickup of about 12, and it'll move the chains. 2 tight ends coming in this play for Denver. Again, trying to stretch it out left side. And this is where the Broncos have done some damage, and they do some more. Javonte Williams, outside the numbers, has been almost unstoppable today. He puts them at the 11 of Washington, where Wilson will go back to the air, but he'll check it down right side. And this one's going to get them to about the 5. It's on 2nd and 4. They bring in Williams again, and he's going to try to pump it up the middle and gets maybe 2. And I get a big 3rd down for Denver. They bring in their goal line front. Yours against mine. Big men against big men. Williams actually bounces it outside and gets the 1st down by a matter of inches. A nice spot from the refs gets them the 1st and goal now from the 1. Goal line package again. This time they just give it to the fullback, and Burton, will punch this one in for a touchdown, and the Broncos answer right back. We're tied up at 10 apiece. Next possession for the Commanders starts off by getting stuffed in the backfield. Nice play by Chris Wormley to get in the backfield, the former Pittsburgh Steeler. 2nd and 13, there's all kind of pressure on Brissett, and it's the former Chief, Frank Clark, who brings him down. Just too many men to block. And now facing 3rd and 27, Brissett drop back, trying to make something happen again, but cannot escape Randy Gregory, who will bring him down for a sack. And that was just a bad possession overall for the Commanders. It'll lead to a punt. And that'll take us to the 2-minute warning. The Broncos get the football back, trying to get some points going into the half. As on 2nd and 4, here's a nice slant route. Patrick absorbs the hits and then continues to push forward to the 11-yard line. 1:37 left in the 1st half. Wilson's drop back throw again. He's got pressure on the backside, and he will not escape it. Technically a sack as Kendall Fuller comes down to deliver the finishing blow, even though I don't think Russell Wilson lost more than a yard. 2nd and 10 is the listing. Wilson across the middle again. There's Patrick on another slant route. Makes it 3rd and 3. Broncos immediately called timeout. On the next play, short left side, but it's dropped. Patrick is hit. The ball comes out, and the Broncos will kick a field goal to take the lead with about 44 seconds to go. And, well, the Washington Commanders didn't do anything with their possession, so we're going to go into the half with the Broncos leading 13-10. Which team will knock their first win of the season? You'll have to find out right after this. Time to do a quick check-in in our halftime report as Week 2 in the NFL season has started off. We'll begin this report by going out west to Arizona, who beat us last week. They host the Giants. They're currently tied at 14 apiece. The Giants started off the season 0-1, while the Cardinals are 1-0. Another touchdown pass to Greg Dortch for the Cardinals. A little bit more out west, NFC West rivals to be specific. The Rams lead 14-3 over the San Francisco 49ers. Matthew Stafford with 2 first-half touchdowns. Rams trying to get back to that Super Bowl. It's not going to be easy. And then meanwhile, in the Big D, Dallas, they lead the Jets 21-3. It has not been an easy start for Aaron Rodgers in his NFL stint on the Jets, while Prescott 3 first-half touchdown passes. They're currently dominating the team from New York. Back to our game here. The Commanders start off with football in the second half. They're going to go with Antonio Gibson to begin. He rattles off a big-time run, breaking some tackles right side, all the way down to the 47-yard line. Big-time run by number 24. Next play, they'll go right back to him. Why not? Tries to cut it right side. He gets a little bit of blocks. Beautiful blocking, actually, by Samuel outside to lay blocks on both key defenders. And meanwhile, Frank Clark is hurt for the Broncos. He would be okay. He'll return to the game momentarily. Next play, stretch out left, and Gibson with 3 back-to-back great runs to put Washington deep into Denver territory, running outside the numbers really well. They're going to try to give it to him for a 4th time. Not the same result, as that one's only a gain of 3. Finally, Brissett will go to the air for the first time this half. He rolls out to his right, has a man open, and he drops it. The tight end, Bates, drops the wide open pass. Brissett a little bit frustrated with that one. That could have been 6. Instead, now 3rd and 7 for Washington, and Brissett is sacked up the middle. Chris Wormley and company bring down Jacoby, and that's going to be a field goal try for the Commanders. And it's up and good, and we're tied up at 13 apiece. Broncos now get the football for the first time in this half. They're going to start with their running back, Javonte Williams, who's had himself a very good day. He gets a gain of 4. 2nd and 6, quick pass out right side. Judy, who's been very busy today with another reception and another first down. They bring in 2 tight ends for this play right here. It's a play action roll out to the right. Wilson has nobody on this side of the field, and he just gets leveled. Ball's on the ground, but unfortunately for us, he's able to get the football back. Wilson dodged a huge bullet there. Loses only 2 and gets the football back. Next play, Williams, right side, has a lot of space and powers his way for a first down. 15 rushes, 88 yards for number 33. As the Broncos are driving here, as Wilson in the pocket wants to escape, and he finally does, and he picks up a big one into Washington territory. An 18-yard scramble for Russell Wilson, showing that even at his age, he still can move it on the legs. Next play, Washington brings a heavy blitz, and Wilson counters a nice 3-yard connection to Judy on the outside. That was Emmanuel Forbes, the first-round rookie in coverage. Next play, Wilson rolls out left and tries to escape, but Deron Payne brings him down this time. Not going to allow Wilson to get outside the pocket. A sack for Washington makes it 13 yards to go, and Wilson, well, again, is going to try to roll out left, and this time he actually escapes, but doesn't really run for it. Nowhere to go. Instead, he gains 2. And it's going to be a 51-yard field goal try. Brett Maher, the kicker, has it up and through the uprights. And the Broncos regain the lead, up 16-13, as both teams with field goals on their first possessions. Time for the second one of Washington, and Gibson continues to run hard. There's a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2 now again to Antonio Gibson, who's been very, very busy this half. Already at 15 rushes. I would say probably over half of those have already come in the second half, and might as well add another one. Left side, Gibson picks up 3 as he's crossed over the century mark on the game. Broncos bring pressure here, and there's a connection across the middle. Jahan Dotson with the reception. Brissett 9 for 11 today. He's been very efficient in the passes he has thrown. It's been a very run-heavy offense by far, but Brissett's taking very good care of the football today. He's not made any mistakes. There's a nice catch and run by Dotson on the bubble screen. 2nd and 3, they try to go to Gibson, but there's nowhere to go. But unfortunately for the Broncos, Randy Gregory is hurt. You can see him limping on that left foot. He's made an impact in this game, so he will be missed. As the next play, Brissett rolls out that side, but finds Curtis Samuel for a first down. And this drive is continuing to move as they enter the red zone. Brissett looks right side, has McLaurin, gets a nice block from Thomas, and that's going to be a 7-yard reception for Scary Terry. There's now 3 tight ends in the formation. It's a play-action boot. Brissett tries to roll out, dumps it off to Gibson, who came out of the backfield, and he might have picked up 1. Another safe throw by Brissett, who only has 2 incompletions this game. 3rd and 2, though, they're going to rely on Gibson to get it, and he gets 3. So that is going to be now goal to go for the Commanders with about a minute left to go in this quarter. As it's another stretch give to Gibson trying to find the end zone, but only found about a yard. 2nd and goal. Robinson will check into this ball game. The fresh power back here is where you want him, these short yardage situations. And, well, Robinson's going to find the end zone. He vultures a touchdown away from Antonio Gibson, but it's 7 points nonetheless for the Commanders, who retake the lead. And they're going to have it going into the final quarter of play. Commanders lead 20-16. Both teams looking for their first win of the season. Who's going to grind it out here in the final quarter? As the Broncos will start it with the football with a 1-yard run to Javonte Williams. Empty backfield now for Wilson. Rolls left, has a man. That's Williams, and he's going to break a couple tackles. But unfortunately for him, his forward progress is going to be marked for a loss of 3. That might be the hardest loss of 3 I've ever seen. So now 3rd and 12 for the Broncos. Wilson rolls out left, has nobody open downfield, and that's going to result in Deron Payne getting his 2nd sack of the game. Nowhere to go for Russell Wilson, and he will punt it away. After both teams do absolutely nothing with their possession, it's now the Commanders with the football again with about 9 minutes to go here in this final quarter of play. And the Commanders are in Broncos territory trying to extend their lead, but they face now a 3rd and 9. Brissett As Gibson to his right, it's going to be a throw. 5 men in the pattern. It's a check down to Antonio. He's going to gain 4, which makes it 4th and 5. But the Commanders, the offense is going to stay on the field. They're going to go for it. Not satisfied with the field goal here. They want 6. Brissett looks right side, has Samuel at the sticks, and he's going to move the chains. Riverboat Ron strikes again, and the Commanders, well, they win the gamble. Now 1st and 10, Gibson out of the backfield. It's a short 2-yard catch, but Zach Allen is hurt on the play. A lot of men have been injured in this one for the men in orange. Now 3rd and 6, Brissett looks left side. Nice floating pass for the tight end. Logan Thomas across the middle. He picks up the 1st down. And again, now Brissett 18 for 20 in this one. He's yet to throw a touchdown pass this season, but this has been a far more improved game from the quarterback. Now 2nd and 7, trying to punch it in for 7, coming up on 5 minutes. This will be big as the Commanders will burn a timeout. A little bit of confusion at the line of scrimmage. They didn't know what play they wanted to run. So might as well get the one you want, and that's a handoff to Gibson left side. But he's stuffed after only a couple yards, and it's 3rd and 6. Brissett to drop back. Tries to roll outside the pocket, being chased. Gets around the edge. He does, but he doesn't get the 1st down. Only picks up 3 before being shoved out of bounds. And this time, the Commanders will kick the field goal. Now with the 2-minute warning, the Broncos are in range in the red zone. Goal to go with 1:50. The Broncos need a touchdown to tie this one up. A field goal does them nothing. 2nd goal from the 4. Over across the middle. This one's batted down. It's a dangerous pass. 3rd and goal now. Big play here for Denver. They squeeze the line. Wilson looks left side, airmails it, and it's 4th and goal. This is basically for the game. Touchdown or bust. Commanders are going to call a timeout. They want to make sure they have the right defensive look for this one. And Wilson comes out, bunched to the right. He's going to look that way, scramble outside, cross the middle, though, and he finds a man. Patrick with the touchdown. Tim Patrick scores, and we are all tied up at 23 apiece. But the Commanders have 1:20 left to go in order to try to get a field goal and potentially win this game. They get a nice 1st down here. Clock continues to run, though. We got about 60 seconds and only 1 timeout. This is a nice screen pass to Gibson, who gets out of bounds. So Commanders are inching close to that red line that's glitched on our side of the field for whatever reason, because Madden can't fix that. But nonetheless, 45 seconds left to go in this one. 2nd and 9. Brissett gets sacked up the middle. Singleton comes through, and he is not fooled by the play action. That basically eliminates the drive, and we're going to overtime. Tied up at 23 apiece. The rules of overtime: if the first team who gets the football scores a touchdown, it's game over. If they score anything less, the opposing team has a chance to match what they scored. And if they tie it after that, it's sudden death. 10 minutes to go. Commanders win the toss because, tails never fail, so they'll start off with the football. And they start with a 6-yard run by Antonio Gibson. The man who's been reliable today. Next play, Brissett goes to the air, looks right side, incomplete. That's the first incompletion in quite some time. Only the 3rd of the day for Jacoby, who now faces 3rd and 4. He's pressured at the middle, gets away from it, and then once again, Brissett uses his legs and picks up a massive 1st down here. 23 on the ground. That's 57 rushing yards on the day for Brissett, and again gets out of a 3rd down situation. So now with a new set of downs, they go to Brian Robinson Jr., who picks up 6 hard-earned yards. Back to the eye, 2 tight ends in the formation. Gibson the deep back, gets it right up the middle, but he's stuffed. Simmons comes down, but Josie Jewell is injured on the play. That's another big loss here for the Broncos. He had over 100 tackles last year, and he's made a presence in this game. 3rd and 3, Robinson Jr. gets the 1st down and a little bit more and continues this drive. Remember, the Commanders scored a touchdown. They win. 1st and 10, Brissett rolls out, has a man down the right side. It's Terry McLaurin with the connection inside the 15-yard line. The Commanders are knocking at the doorstep. Only McLaurin's 3rd grab of the day, but it was a big one. They start off with Gibson here. He has a little bit of space, but he's tracked down from behind before he can score. 2nd and 6 now. A little bit of movement on the left side. There's actually going to be a penalty marker, and they're going to get Charles Leno Jr. with the false start. It's a big 5-yard penalty. As now instead of 2nd and 6, it's 2nd and 11. And Brissett, well, he gets blitzed right up the middle. Chris Wormley gets there. Nothing Brissett could do. And now it's 3rd and 21. Just trying to make something happen. Instead, Brissett loses the football. Sam Cosmi is there, thank goodness, to recover it, as that is the 4th sack of the day for Clark. And the Commanders, well, they're not going to get 6. They're going to kick a field goal here, and it's up and good. So they lead by 3, but Denver's going to have a chance to match and even potentially win the game. They got 5 minutes to do it. They're starting off on their own 25-yard line. Wilson will start off in the air across the middle, but he misses Javonte Williams a little behind him. He definitely had a step on Davis. I could have gone for some serious yardage. Now they go empty here on 2nd and 10. Wilson going to try to take a deep shot right side, but this one's batted away. Fuller, who's played excellent through the first 2 weeks of the season with the pass breakup. And now quickly it's 3rd and 10 for Denver. Wilson again to the air, rolls out left, tries to check him down, and this one goes through the hands of Williams, which means it's 4th and 10, and the game is on the line. The Broncos need a first down, or this one is over. Wilson's going to pass for it again. He's going to scramble right side, tries to get away, but he's sacked down by none other than Jonathan Allen, who's wreaked havoc all day in the backfield today, and he secures the Commanders with their first win of the season. Final score 26-23 in overtime, and what was a pretty solid game. I thought this game played very well. I thought Brissett did a very good job of protecting the football. He didn't score in the air, but he did have a rushing touchdown. And overall, I thought this was just a well-played game. Now, I did bump it down to All-Pro for this game and use Armor and Sword sliders. I have used his sliders in the past with my series, so I wanted to give him a shot in this one. And personally, I did like the gameplay a lot better in this one. I thought it was a lot more realistic. But let me know in the comments section below, do you want me to stay on All-Madden and potentially find an All-Madden set, or do you want me to stick with these sliders? So that was it for week 2 on our end, but let's look at a couple of games around the league. We're going to start off with 3 games here in week 2. Starting off on Fox, the Bears went to Tampa Bay and lost to the Buccaneers 23-20. Ezekiel Elliott, who signed a 1-year contract with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in the offseason, ran for 98 yards and a touchdown and helped push the Tampa Bay to their first win in the post-Tom Brady era. Sunday Night Football, the Dolphins traveled to New England to face the Patriots and won 27-6. The Dolphins pick up their first one of the season. Patriots still winless. Julian Love, 7 tackles and an INT for the Dolphins. Finally, on Monday Night Football, the Steelers rout the Browns 28-3. Kenny Pickett, sophomore season, gets off to a nice solid game here, 24 for 32, 274 yards with a 4-touchdown game. Yes, he did throw an INT, but he allowed the Steelers to a big win over the still winless Cleveland Browns. Well, that's going to do it for week 2 action. Next week, we will play host to the Buffalo Bills. And while we've had a pretty easy stretch so far in the first 2 games of the season, this one is not going to be. This is going to be a big test. The Bills are one of the best teams in the AFC. Yes, they're 1-1. Yes, they lost to the Raiders this week, but they're so talented. Josh Allen, the best quarterback we've played out easily to this point. You got Stephon Diggs we're going to have to try to cover. Kendall Fuller's going to have a big game. And even on defense, the front line, Von Miller anchors that group. You got Ed Oliver up the middle. Linebackers, they're a little weak. I think we could potentially take advantage of the linebackers. But in the secondary, you got to worry about White. You got to worry about Hyde. You got to worry about Poyer. This is not going to be an easy game. But thank you guys so much for watching this, and I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure you drop that like and you subscribe down below, especially if you want more franchise content. This is Mr. Rob, and I'll see you in the next one.